One of the biggest challenges that I want to take on is to be able to go in front of a black audience and say, I don't believe in God, which is blasphemous. Because we in the black community, like Richard Pryor said, black people, we tight with God. And I just don't understand how we as a people historically put so much faith into this thing called God, but yet for 400 years we were in chains. For 400 years we prayed. For 400 years, black people have a saying in church where we go, the pastor comes out and he goes, God is good, ain't he? And we say all the time. All the time.
God is good.
All the time. 400 years, all the time. The 60s, all the time. The 4 black girls that died in the church bombing in Alabama, all the time. The 9 black people shot by Dylan Roof in church, praising God. You would think if the one place you are safe, a safety zone, is in his house, and if God and the angels can't protect you in his house all the time. I've always said I've always been in a struggle with religion and God, because I know that there are more of them out there, but I think I'm this close, if I'm not already there, to being a black atheist. I don't know that I believe in God.
There's a black atheist. There's a lot of them.
I haven't completely crossed over, but I'm like Anakin Skywalker. I'm so close to the dark side that I'm starting to feel like my faith in religion and humanity and what this all is supposed to mean is a bunch of bullshit.
Really?
Yeah.
Faith and humanity.
Yeah. See, and I don't know whether God is black or white, but here's my thinking. Let's just say, okay, God is black. And people, you know, slaves are praying and, oh, my Lord, 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 Lord. Freedom gonna come one day. Well, freedom is inevitable. We weren't gonna stay slaves forever. So you mean to tell me 400 years later, finally being free, now we want to go, he might not come when you call, but he's always on time. If 400 years is on time, that's tardiness. So if God is real, he's a nigga because he's late. And if God is white, you putting all your praise into this white God who clearly didn't give a fuck about you either. So which is he? Is he black? Is he white? If he's black, why wouldn't you look out for your own people? If he's white, now you showing love to this figure who kept you locked up. None of that makes sense to me.
And you say you haven't totally crossed over?
No, because I look at things like when I travel, and I've been all over the world, and I look at certain places and I look at the beauty of certain things in terms of the earth and just animal and nature, and I go, it's got to be a God.
Right.
But then I pick up a newspaper and I read how a 4-year-old girl gets kidnapped, raped, and murdered. Now, I know they say God gives man free will. If God gives man free will, okay, I get that. But like the mafia, women and kids should be off limits.
Yeah.
You know, it's nothing more terrible. I have 3 kids. My youngest daughter is 5. Love her to death. I couldn't imagine what it must be like for a child to feel the terror of, I'm losing my life. Where's my mother and father?
Yeah.
Someone help me. And if God can't step in at that moment and go, look, I know I give man free will, but this is a kid. All bets is off. So I don't, that doesn't make sense to me.
Right.
Too much of what goes on in this life does not make sense to me. I don't know if I'm overthinking it. I don't know that because I'm getting older, I start questioning my own mortality. When you're young, you're arrogant.
Yeah.
You think you're gonna live forever. You think you're gonna look like a movie star forever.
Yeah.
You know, your shit don't stink. You're the baddest and the best in the world. But the older you get, and your back starts hurting, and you making noise when you get out of bed, and you know, what's this pain on my knee? And you start questioning your mortality, and you realize through being humble, shit is weird. It's just weird, man.
Yeah.